Oh my god. What happened? My CD fell. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Jonhson Mclang Show. Season 2, episode 47, I think. So, let's get started. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla tests positive for COVID-19 again. So I guess this is his second or third time he got COVID. I don't know how many times he has COVID. Probably twice, probably. He is the person that made the COVID-19 vaccine with Pfizer. And he got COVID. He probably got his own vaccine twice in his arm. Maybe 3 times with his booster. And he still has COVID. See, as the CEO of Pfizer, he got COVID. How are we supposed to trust these vaccinations and say that they work, but they still get COVID? Biden got COVID, he was vaccinated. Jen Psaki got vaccinated, she was positive for COVID. AOC was vaccinated, she got COVID. Kamala Harris was vaccinated, got COVID. Pfizer CEO got COVID twice. Biden got COVID 3 times twice. Jimmy Kimmel got COVID. They said blanked about being vaccinated. Dr. Fauci were boosted and still got COVID twice. How are we supposed to trust this vaccination if so-called experts, are getting COVID from their own thing that they're promoting? It's ridiculous. I think it's silly. I think it's kind of crazy. Next, Arizona judge rules that state can enforce near total abortion ban. Yay! Good for Arizona. I think Arizona is turning a corner. Maybe it might be turning red this time around. And that judge in Arizona is amazing. Protecting lives in Arizona. Wawa Rampage. Disturbing video shows dozens of ransacking store in Dead Med City. Once again, high crime in Democrat cities across the United States. Democrats don't care about crime. They're all about defund the police, Black Lives Matter. We need to do something about crime in Chicago, and not just Chicago, but other places too. It's sad, and homeless is a big problem in Democrat cities. Well, every city has crime, and everything. Like every city, every town has crime. Every city has poverty and homeless issues. But Democrat-led cities, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, they all have more homeless issues than Republican cities, in my opinion. That have Republican mayors. We have less crime. We do have crime, and it is an issue, but not as big as an issue as Democrat states and Democrat cities. Now, Democrat states with Democrat cities in it is 10 times worse. But Democrat cities and Republican cities somehow, I don't know how that happens, but it does. They have crime issues. But look at Indiana's a red state. We have crime, but our crime in Indiana is a major issue in Democrat cities. Now, crime is an issue everywhere you go. All over the world, there's crime. All around the world, there's homelessness and poverty, and I understand that, but Democrat-led cities have more issues than I feel like Republican cities, and Democrats need to fix this, but they're not. And gas is starting to go up in places too. That's a severe issue that right before elections a month, 2 months away, And gas is rising, which is a good thing. It's a bad thing for the citizens that are hurting by the gas, but it is a good thing for Republicans because they can run against Democrats this year, this midterm cycle. We still have probably debates coming up with Senate and House, and we still have time to think before we vote. I think it's sad that the gas is going up again, but it is going up again. It was up, and now it went down, which we thought that was great, but it is great that it was starting to go down and it went up. It's going up, which is a good thing, because I think Democrats are once again trying to get rid of oil. I heard something from Marjorie Taylor Greene that they're trying to get rid of oil more than they already did. And oh my God, I think it's a good thing for Republicans. The gas is going up again because they can say because we need energy independence, and that includes gas. And Republicans are promising to make gas cheaper by bringing energy independence. I think it's a good thing. I really do. No stone left unturned. Republicans pledge to hold Biden accountable, and if they win House majority, we should hold Biden accountable in 2023 because I do think we're going to take over the House. I think Nancy will be retired, maybe not, but she won't be the speaker anymore. But Kevin will be the speaker, so I bet. So next year, this January, per hypocrisy, former Border Patrol officer who left the Democrat Party speaks out. Thank you for speaking out. She was a former Democrat. Oh my God, now I guess she's like a Republican, I guess. Former Border Patrol officer who left Democrat Party blasts the left's per hypocrisy. Rosa Araro says she became Republican over media's torment of Trump when he called for a border wall. So I'm going to go to this video. There's a video of this. So let's see. Fox, where's Fox? I don't care. I do care about iron, but that's not the focus today. Where is that? Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. That was today, wasn't it? Did it go away? Where's that thing? Let's see. Let's see if I can find those. Come on, Fox. Mm. Hold on. No, no, no. What's that story called? Here we go. Now you're going to listen to the Border Patrol agent, former Democrat Border Patrol agent that's now a Republican. Let's listen to her.
Tucker Carlson Originals, The China Takeover, Brazil, streaming now.
El Paso, Texas is getting hit with around 1,500 illegal immigrants every single day, but that is not stopping Democratic leaders from complaining about the few thousand total migrants Republican governors bust into huge sanctuary cities like New York City, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. Rosa Arellano is a retired Border Patrol officer born and raised in Del Rio, Texas, who ditched the Democrats for the GOP in 2016 and joins us now. Rosa, good morning to you. First of all, let's start with your political affiliation. Why did you decide to leave the Democratic Party and become a Republican?
I'm glad she did.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on your show. Really appreciate it. The reason I left the Democratic Party was because back in 2016, I saw what happened at the beginning as soon as President Trump announced that he was going to make a run for president. At first, I was like, okay, maybe I'm just listening to shows where, for whatever reason, they might like him. Because back in the day, I knew that he had people that either loved him or hated him, right? Because he was pretty much a celebrity at the time. But then I noticed that it just kept getting worse and worse, and I wasn't hearing any good, remarks from any of the major networks. So that's when I started to say, you know what, I need to look into this a little bit, deeper. And then I ran into that clip where he made reference in regards to the bad hombres. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And I clearly remember that I was working as a CBP officer at the time, and I was at the camera room when I listened to that clip, and I heard its entirety. So I didn't think much about it in regards to when he made reference to the bad hombres, as it being racist or what have you, because I worked as a CBP officer,
right,
and I did encounter my fair share number of bad hombres.
And now there is, Rosa, now there's just absolute rage over the busing of migrants to cities, big cities like New York City and Chicago, and people say that is causing a crisis there. But can you describe what's been going on in border towns in Texas for the past 2 years? What does it look like where you live?
Oh, wow. If they think that's a crisis, they should come down and check out the border.
Yeah.
I'm not going to neglect that we've always had issues down at the border for decades. It's been a situation that's been passed down from administration after administration. But going back to President Trump, he was the first president in a long time that I recall that actually came down to the border.
Yeah.
And I know that at the beginning, his intentions was to go ahead and promote for a border wall that was going to be spanning from what they say, from sea to shining sea. But when he came down and he spoke to the subject matter experts of Border Patrol and us, the CBP officers, he listened to us. He listened to us, letting him know that we needed a multi-layer solution to this situation. And we mentioned that we needed physical barriers at strategic locations. We needed better infrastructure. We needed more boots in the ground, better technology. He listened to us and he pointed it out to the country. But as y'all may recall, the media immediately came down along with Democrat leadership and called it a manufactured crisis. So now when I see these folks complaining about, just a handful of
Democratic Party and become a Republican.
To President Trump, he was the first president in a long time that I recall that actually came down to the border. And I know that at the beginning, his intentions was to go ahead and promote for a border wall that was going to be spanning from what they say, from sea to shining sea. But when he came down and he spoke to the subject matter experts of Border Patrol and us, the CBP officers, he listened to us. he listened to us, letting him know that we needed a multi-layer solution to this situation, and we mentioned that we needed physical barriers at strategic locations, we needed better infrastructure, we needed more boots in the ground, better technology. He listened to us and he pointed it out to the country. But as y'all may recall, the media immediately came down along with Democrat leadership and called it a manufactured crisis. So now when I see these folks complaining about, just a handful of migrants being flown over to their areas and
I'm sorry about this, guys.
to President Trump, he was the first, and he pointed it out going on. I mean, they would be baffled. I mean, we have our small border town that is just about 30,000, 35,000
Anyway,
of us here down here. And it's ridiculous that we're getting illegals entry.
blast to left's pure hypocrisy. Rosa Orlano says she became Republican over media's treatment of Trump when he called for a border wall. A retired Border Patrol agent who left the Democratic Party explained on Fox and Friends First on Monday that the policies of the Biden administration worsened border security compared to the Trump policies. Retired CBP officer Rosa Orlano said former President Trump inspired her to switch parties, explaining how he listened to the concerns of border agents. He was the first president in a long time that I recall actually came down to the border, she told Carly Shimkus. When he came down, and he spoke to the subject matter experts of Border Patrol and us, the CBP officers, he listened to us, said the Texas border resident. He listened to us, letting him know that we needed a multi-layer solution to this situation. And we mentioned that we needed physical barriers, strategic locations, we needed better infrastructure, we needed more boots on the ground and better technology. He listened to us, and he pointed it out to the country. Arellano said it is pure hypocrisy from Democrats for calling the busing of migrants a crisis when border communities are overwhelmed on a daily basis. Arellano suggested Democrats go to the border to witness the crisis firsthand. If they come down and they check out what's going on, they would be baffled. We have our small border town that is just about 30 to 35. It's ridiculous that we're getting illegals entering our area at a rate of about 1,000 a day. Arellano says she became a Republican after watching the mainstream media's negative coverage of Trump when he announced his run for president in 2015. Fox News' Lindsay Corning contributed to this report.
Okay. I'm glad she left the Democrat Party and stood up for what she believed in. Crisis mode. Psychologist urgent warning about impact of crime, homelessness on kids' mental health. For crime and homelessness is really affecting kids' negative health. And Democrats need to fix this. Think about our kids. Protect our kids. Let's go. We need to do something like that too. And COVID's effects on mental health on kids. Oh my god. With the mask and stuff. Okay. Take the gloves off. GOP Senator Josh Hawley to introduce bill empowering states to deport illegal immigrants. Yes. Amen. Like the Florida thing where sending to Martha's Vineyard, where Democrats are thinking that's crazy. Like Lisa said, which is not that bad. And this would give the right to states if the Senate passes it. I don't know if they will or not. But would give states the right to deport immigrants to different states or different locations. So that'd be great. Anyway, shifts to the right as voters reward. I don't know. So I guess Italy is turning to conservative, which is great for the world. I love when the world stands up for their freedom. And when we stand up for our freedom. Twitter might reinstate Trump's account. Report. This is from Newsmax. That would be great. To have his freedom of speech back. That would be great. But would Trump be back on? I don't know. Would he stay in Truth Social? Probably. But, hey, that'd be great. Poll. Republicans up 21 points on Democrats in battleground districts. ABC poll: Republicans are up 21 points on Democrats in battleground districts, which is great. Republicans hold a 21-point lead in the battleground House districts on a generic congressional ballot as the party seeks to regain control of the chamber in 2022. In November election, a poll found among people living in congressional districts that are rated as least somewhat cooperative by ABC, 538 registered voters favored GOP candidates 55% compared to 34% of Democrats. ABC News, Washington Post polls show, which these are true sources, shows that Republicans lead and almost a plus 24-point advantage in solid GOP districts. Democrats lead by 35 points in solid blue districts, which is not good. Hey, but it's also good that we're leading 21 points in Democrat areas. Hey, I think we can win the House. I think we might try. I bet we can do the same for the Senate too. That's all the news stories for today, I think. So that's it for today's Jonhson Mclang show, and I'll be back on Thursday for another Jonhson Mclang show. So see you then. And I want to say a prayer for Florida and surrounding areas of the Hurricane Ian, everybody, and may God bless Florida in those areas that may be affected the worst by this hurricane tropical storm. My prayers are sent out to everybody involved. We might want to do stuff for climate change now because this is getting serious and upsetting, and I don't know. But everyone, God bless everybody, and I'll talk to you soon.